Aloha soul. I was going to say soul family. Aloha unities that fell and rose. Um, this is me. My name's Keith. This is just a continuation. There was a slight interruption in my previous video, and I very much, for context, please watch it. Okay, please watch that other video so that this one makes more sense. Um, it's been a rough time. It's been a rough time for me. I'm just going to kind of get back into what I was previously talking about. But since I got interrupted, it's like I'm in a slightly different energy too. This reminded me of something too, where I still, for me, it was the choice. All right, I'm just kind of jumping right back into the story of things, where like talking about this unity that fell. Okay, to me, this is what the devil is. All right, this is what the devil is. All right, what people talk about, and there's souls that have fallen into that, and I can't help it, you guys. Where it's like I still have this love, like this true, genuine love for everybody. I just there's also this separation though too, where I gotta let them be. All right, I gotta let them do their thing, and just it's out of my hands. That's just the best way to put it. I'm just I'm just checking. Um, I'm sorry, it's just mosquito bites. I want to make this video though, and then just the interruption. I'm just kind of off center at the moment. Um, yeah, I guess we can go more into the physical stuff, just with drugs. That's how this is manifested in the physical world for the most part for me, and interactions with individuals and everything. Part of the fellow unity I've really connected with you guys. All right, that's what's made it so hard. Is that there is this relationship that you ended up developing with these other souls who are basically in the same position you are. There's like a camaraderie with it. And what's separating me from this particular situation now is that I'm not using anymore. That's what's separating me. And there's different versions. Some people, some souls respect that. Some souls hate it, man. And it is what it is. It just is what it is, you guys. And more than anything, I'm focused on myself, but in a good way, because I still stand by that premise, you guys. Especially on the drug format, guys. We can always come back. Like, we can always rise again, but it really takes that choice. It really takes that recognition. And I don't know what that's like. People would say, "Whoa," about whoa. Sorry, you guys, they're losing all it. What do I always say? Raw and unedited, you guys. Raw and unedited. All right, it looks like it's gonna stay. Trying something new so I could have my hands free. It's not my backpack; it's something else. I'm able to sit down in it, a camping chair, essentially. That's just that's what's so strange is that I can only talk about my particular journey, and for me, it was one choice away from never coming back. I would say at least this lifetime. Okay, at least this lifetime. There was that one surrender away from never coming back. All right, never wanting to come back, and also never feeling like I could. Like, that's a big part of it too. Like, one thing I will talk about in the Fell Unity, my experience of it, is there's like a division, an inner division, where it's like you're so compelled and you want to keep going deeper into this situation. And you're also feeling helpless and terrified of the strong pull of this particular thing. Okay. And because it is extreme on both sides, you guys. If anything, that's almost what it is. You know, and that's drugs in a nutshell, right? Especially these harder core drugs. I'm still not going to mention what it is. Okay, just for sake, doesn't matter. All right, it's addiction itself because it makes you feel really good. It makes you feel really good, really, really good right at first, right? If we're talking about physics and everything, you know, it gives you that dopamine hit right there immediately, right? We can even apply that to other things too, right? But you get that dopamine all up front, but leads you to a crash. Like it's inevitable. It's inevitable that way. Um, but it creates that cycle, that boom and that bust cycle. And it just, like, from my experience, it just gets worse, you guys. It doesn't get better, it gets worse. It just gets worse. But it intensifies everything, all right? And I'm going to stop talking about that, all right? I don't want to talk about that right now. I don't even know what I want to talk about right now. All these freaking mosquitoes, man, biting my ankles and everything. Yeah, are we still going? I hope so. All right. Maybe it's a sign, you guys. I don't even know if I want to post this anymore. Does it even matter, right? Does it even matter? Um, I guess this is for other people who know me or care about me. Um, I don't think there's many people who watch. Maybe like one or two people that I actually know. But I love you guys. I love you guys. Um, I love you guys. I can't begin to tell you how this fell unity, how this other side of things twists and manipulates everything, even the word, even the concept of love. All right, in a very real way. All right, it converted the word love into meaning something completely different. They could say, like, I love you. All right, and it's that difference. All right, it's like that addiction is what love turns into. It's like this huge amount of attraction, like passion, pleasure, this intensity where it's just like, oh yeah. And it's also this kind of devotion, submission, where it's just so intense into it, and the intensity is just so much there. All right, and it converts other words too. It converts other energies too. It turns gentleness into something which is not gentleness. Okay, that's what I got to experience firsthand. All right, it becomes like a masquerade, like a facade, a subtle redirection. You know, and it's man, I just feel it too. In some ways, it doesn't even want me to talk about it. You know, but that's also what gives me. That's why I went through this journey. That's why I'm here, you guys. That's why I got to this point, one surrender away. Okay, so I could really understand, so I could see what was going on, so I could be here now, because I choose the unity that rose, okay, more than anything else, more than everything else. And part of this journey is knowing that I can always go back to that, especially this lifetime, man. But I think essentially any lifetime. Anytime I start entertaining or focusing on these other aspects, on these addictions, whether it's drugs, whether it's anything, whenever I focus, put my attention on the unity that fell, I'm going to start to move in that direction. Okay? And so I only want to talk about it in the context of revelation so that we can get back, or that we are back, to verify that we're back into the unity that rose. Okay? In a very real way, you know, this is the story of Jesus, you guys. This is what the Bible talks about in a lot of different ways. We're coming from a Christian terminology and perspective. And I'm sticking to that, you guys. Like, in a manner of speaking, I was people from people who were less diverse, I guess, with as my background, would have said they met Jesus. All right, because I got to interact when I was going through like this, I don't know, life review. I talked about it in my other video, where there was I was like meeting family. I was meeting other soul family, and I didn't know if I was saying goodbye or if they were encouraging me to, come back. And one of them, I think people would have interpreted as Jesus. All right. Now I got to have conversation with this, okay, with this soul, and um, just for purposes of this video, I'm not going to say what it alluded to it being, okay, because I think a lot of it is that we hear what we need to from this particular soul, okay. We hear what we need to in order to move on to the next point. And so I don't want to spoil it, okay? And even if I said it, it wouldn't matter, guys. You're going to hear whatever you're going to hear from the soul. But the soul revealed to me, okay, that might be Jesus, okay? Let's just say that. Yes, Yeshua, whatever you want to say, okay? There's many different ways to interpret it, and I would still, it's the resonance, okay? It's the frequency, it's the resonance, it's the message, which is really being communicated. Not the appearance of it, not the words, but the core of it, okay? And it showed me, all right? It showed me exactly what I needed to see and what I needed to hear at that time, all right? It put everything into context for me. And it showed me that both sides of this, too. Like, this is one of the things, I'm just kind of going off in a similar but different subject tangent here, which is this combination factor, okay, where it's allowing ourselves to be saved, but it's very, very much so. You have to choose to be saved. All right? That's something that you have to choose to believe in. Because if you don't believe in it, and it's just not going to work. It disappears. It's like it never was. All right? Using that terminology, right? Jesus says, "I don't know you," and that's what you say to Jesus, right? I'm one of those people, guys. I don't even like the particular name Jesus, because God, like, when I was talking about the fell unity, all right, how it mirrors things, okay, in a large degree, especially in the world, okay, yep, there's this apparent satanic force, all right, it's very obvious in their ways. They're the fell unity for sure, but the fell unity loves to disguise itself, okay, and I would absolutely say, I won't say absolutely, but I would completely say, I'm completely convinced, okay, and I've seen and experienced that everyone who comes in the name of Jesus does not come in the spirit of Jesus, okay, if you get my meaning. If you get my meaning. So just take that with a grain of salt, okay? Take that as you will. And this is what I've experienced too. That's why I don't like to talk about Jesus in that way. This is why I talk about the story, all right? This is why I talk about the meaning behind it, all right? Because what I got to experience firsthand, to the edge of the degree, all right, is that it will use our own words against us. It will convert the symbols into meaning something completely different. All right, and I feel like in a very real way that the story of Jesus has been converted by many individuals, organizations, factions, whatever you want to say, into a story which is disempowering, which is actually supporting the fell unity and going deeper into it, but masquerading itself as light, a false light. Okay, like this is why it's very important to be careful. Okay, if people say that they're saved by Jesus, be very careful. You know, so much of this for me is like use. I'm talking to myself here, right? So use my intuition. All right. One of the things, at least for me, that I've really discovered, okay, throughout this whole ordeal, throughout this whole situation with the fell unity, was my intuition's like right. It's always right. Okay. And part of how the fell unity works, at least in my life, how it's worked for me, is that it will use my intuition against me in a different way, where it attempts to convince me that I'm not worth being saved. And in getting to view myself as not worthy of being saved in any particular fashion, in any way, this can operate on many different levels, you guys. Many different levels. Okay. For me, like it wasn't seeing my worth. It wasn't seeing my worth in myself as an individual. I saw other people's worthiness. I saw the worthiness of nature. I saw the worthiness all around me, but I wasn't seeing it within myself. And it left me wide open to being completely manipulated by the fell unity. And so this journey which got me to the point of this one surrender away from being completely consumed by it and then never being able to return, with the caveat, hopefully just this lifetime, you guys. Hopefully. But I don't need to go through another one of these, guys. Fuck that. All right, seriously. With what I've experienced here in this particular lifetime, the pain and the hardship of the years that I've spent getting to this point, okay, no. No, that's why I'm afraid of falling, you guys. That's why I feel like it's one surrender away from me. Is that I can't take another lifetime of this crap, you guys. I would just give up. I would just freaking give up at that point. I can't remember how I explained it, but just there's mosquitoes. There's a bunch of mosquitoes around, you guys. It's just unconscious sometimes, just swatting them away. So yeah, whew, just heavy energies, you guys. Heavy energies. I know I covered a lot. I'll just kind of wrap things up, I guess. You know, I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm alive. Wiser, more experienced, understanding, versed. Like versed from both sides. All right. Knowing where I come from, knowing where I was going for a while, and knowing where I'm in, where I'm returning. Okay, it's the best way to say it. I explored the unity that fell, so I could truly be the unity that rose. And this is where I am. This is my soul family. Okay, when I was talking to the soul family, all right, that's who I'm talking about. Okay, for me, I'm talking to the unities out there that rose, from the ashes. Okay, like a phoenix, like a beautiful flower, like however you want to put it, man. And we never have to go back to that. That's the beauty. We never have to go back to that. We never have to. That staying in this energy is going to help us continue to be in that energy. All right, supporting each other, supporting ourselves. Just like I said before, too. It's seeing how we got in there in the first place. That's part of it, I guess. Like for me, and seeing that beauty, that beauty within myself, It's not just in this world, it's not just in each other and everything, it's in myself too. And so, it's going to be maybe different for everybody. It might be very similar. You guys. I really, I like to think that we're all a lot more similar than we give ourselves credit for sometimes. We're all unique. I get that. I totally get that. But we're all really similar too. Dare I say identical sometimes. So that's part of that premise too, where it's just like some of these individuals that I've met, all right, who are currently in the unity that fell. I have to let them go. I have to let them go. But I'm choosing the unity that rose. And I am hoping and holding space for them to come back someday. Eternity, man. We got eternity. Souls, we got eternity, you guys. But in order for me to hold the space for them, I have to choose for myself. I have to see that beauty within myself. Okay? Because I see their beauty already. Even if they don't see it in themselves, I see it. But I have to. All right. I mean, I choose to. I see that. I don't have to. It's not of course. Because I didn't. I mean, if I had to see the beauty in myself, I would have, and I would have never fallen in that, right? I would have never gotten to that place of almost never coming back. Um, but then I was given that choice. It was a blessing. It was a blessing on so many levels, guys. So many levels. It was a blessing. And I chose to see it within myself. And that gave me the power to say no. Okay? Gave me the power to say no to this addiction. Because in seeing that power for myself, this is what's going to give me the platform to be able to help others see that within themselves too. Okay? That's important to me. But in order for me to even get there, I need to see that I was worth it, that I mattered, to me. All right, I have a bunch of processing to do and stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna do my best to make more videos, be more regular again. I got time now. I got time. I got the energy for it. It's not all going into the void. Okay. And maybe I'll share more details later. Juicy details, you guys. Don't you want to know? All right. Oh, man, what a life, man, life. So thanks for sticking around. All right, I'll give you guys a shaka. Love you guys, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of my journey as I'm being a part of yours. And together, let's be the unity that rose. I'll catch you later.